Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bar Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bar Hashem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and shalom to those who elect. I got this article I want to get into. It goes back a few months. It's by Breaking Israel News, latest news, biblical perspective, and it reads: if the Nazis had RFID chip implants, okay. So I'm just gonna read into it, commentate upon it, and where the spirit wills, grab a scripture. You know, all right. So it reads: the anger of Hashem again flared up against Israel, and he incited David against him, saying, "Go and number Israel and Yehuda." Okay. Second Samuel 24:1, the Israel Bible. Now you can check it up in the King James version. That's basically when a demon jumped on King David to basically try and number the nation of Israel, which is against the law. Basically, a censorship over the nation of Israel is against the law of the Most High Power, a holy law. We're not meant to be numbered. So, um, what this article, the main point this is standing upon with RFID technology, this is basically that it's not biblical due to the fact that it's used to number the nation of Israel, which is a point. It's a valid point, but the main thing they need that these is showing you they don't have the understanding of the word, all right? They don't have the understanding of prophecy. Okay, they're saying the latest news from a biblical perspective from the land of Israel, and it shows you again they're not the real Jews according to the Bible. That this RFID chip is a mark of the beast. And they don't know it because, first and foremost, they're not the true Jews of the Bible. In reference to the Revelations, the second chapter, the third chapter, it Revelations 2:9 tells you to say they're Jews and are not. And speaking of the nation, the nation of Israel as it's known today, and then furthermore, it says secrets are revealed unto servants of prophets. So they're not the nation of Israel, and furthermore, they don't have the prophets because they're not the nation of Israel. But the real nation of Israel has the prophets, starting with the apostles of Great Millstone and all their men on down, the elders and the elders in the camps and all the brothers, the officers of various ranks. Those are the men that have the understanding of the Bible. So I'm going to read this article: blurring the boundaries and separating man from machine. A technology growing popularity allows computer chips to be implanted under the skin. This may be prohibited by the Bible, but one rabbi warns of a greater danger. The chips could be used as a Nazi-like tool to control the populace. Okay, again, it's the mark of the beast. That's what RFID chip is. The process is relatively simple: an identifying integrated circuit device or radio frequency identification transponder encasing silicate glass approximately the size of a grain of rice is implanted under the skin using a device similar to a syringe, the cannula. Local anesthetic is used during the procedure. The use of the subdermal RFIDs for domestic and farm animals is widespread. In some countries require them to be implanted. This first was done by a physician in 1998 and was approved for the use of humans by the Food and Drug Administration in 2004. Okay, so this is an agenda that's been working through a steady progress. Okay, proponents of this new technology claim a myriad, if I'm pronouncing that right, of benefits. Some companies currently recommend implantation for their employees for security purposes. Locks in elevators can be paired with sensors so that only specific people can open a door. Computers can use this sensor to identify users when they log on, allowing them to access files and systems specific to them, using the chip as a biopayment in place of a credit card is in the developmental stages, okay, which really is they got that, they're ready for that. And could lead to a cashless society. It is also feasible. So these people that they're rats, man, so-called Jews, and they know this. So what's good with what's going on with Nate Satan, man? How comes Nathaniel 7, that thief, doesn't know that that the RFID technology is can be used for a cash used within a cashless society? Okay, he's the same one saying that the chip was only used for lost and found items, but this article showing you that it's in the works, man, for a bio payment. Okay, it's also feasible to create a smart gun that will only allow the owner of a gun to fire it. Theoretically, a GPS enabled chip could one day make it possible for individuals to be physically located anywhere on the planet. So that paragraph ledge outlined the many angles in which the RFID technology can be utilized. Alright, and guess what? Every angle of the RFID technology is going to be utilized because it's known as a ubiquitous form of technology, where basically it embodies it's going to be an embodiment of many separate entities that are entities of technology used today on this earth can be gonna be honed into the one place of the RFID technology, which is gonna be implanted into the people, those that Esau deems worthy, okay, for his new world order agenda. The chip can link to an external database containing vital medical information for emergency use. This would be especially useful in case of dementia or where the patient is uncooperative. It can also be used by law enforcement agencies to identify subjects and track their movements, but these applications raise serious concerns about civil liberties. In addition to concerns about privacy, hacking the chips could lead to egg egregious cases of identity theft. Some states have passed legislation preventing companies and organizations from requiring their members or employees to be implanted with chips. Yeah, but that's going to be overridden when the RFID technology, when it gets rolled out in great force. And some Christian activists, including conspiracy theorists Mike Dice, the author of a book titled The Resistance Manifesto, make a link between the chipping of humans and the biblical mark of the beast prophesied to be the future requirement for buying and selling. Yep, which is going to be. He's right with that. Several anti-Jewish websites have written the implanted chips are actually a Jewish plot to control the minds of the populace. These conspiracists cite the many Jews who are developing the technology as proof of their theories. They also make the unsubstantiated claim that Jews are working on initiatives to require chip implementation. The sites claim the chips could be used for the purposes of mind control as per the protocols of the Elders of Zion, published in Russia in 1903, but still printed around the world. The protocols is a fabricated account purporting to describe a Jewish plan for global domination, in addition to hijacking the chips for the purposes of mind control, theft, and to wreak general havoc. And sites claim the GPS feature will be used for the purposes of locating Christian children. This is a perpetration of the spurious medieval blood libel in which the Jews accused of murdering Christian children and purpose of using their blood to bake matzah. Though the issue has not been formally addressed by any rabbinic body, it may be that having the chips implied violates the Torah prohibition against numbering and counting Jews. And there's a reason why these men, the rabbinic body, have not had anything to say about this, because they're going to operate, they're in subjection to the powers that be, and they're going to have to push, they're going to be part of the what is known as a clergy response team, which is going to push for people to be at one with the system. All right, that's their job. That's why you had the Pope many years ago have the Pantheon, I believe, where you had many of different religions down there in Vatican City join all in one. Many leaders of many religions and they were trying to, and basically what they were doing was uniting all religions, really underneath Catholicism, which basically is the worship of Satan. Okay, in a nutshell. Um, but you know what? I'm gonna um, read this because it's just it says, "You're not counting people or assigning them a number," Rabbi Winston told Breaking Israel News. "You're identifying the chip which it was assigned a number." So, and that number that's been assigned, it tells you in the book of Revelations 13, the mark of his name, which was 666, Sci-Fi Stigma, which basically is the code, the UC code, I believe, on the RFID chip, which is the barcode, all right? Which you have two lines at the beginning, two lines in the middle, two lines at the end. And they basically, those numerical value of those lines is 6, all right? So that is how they're numbering the people, and then the numbers in between will be a code, okay, attached to personally to each person. All right. So that's what it is. No two ways about it. It's the RFID chip. Okay. So I want to pinpoint some other points, and then okay. Okay. Though it is not specifically described in any Jewish end of days literature, this is still a scary scenario. See, that shows you that if the Most High power is the Most High power, the omnipotent, all right, the knower of all things, why would he not speak of these things? Okay, why would he not guide his people of what to do in those days? Because they don't know, man. They ain't got the full. They don't understand the Bible, and there's even scriptures within the Torah and the Tanakh, which the Torah includes basically the Old Testament. There's scriptures in that speak upon the RFID chip, but they don't have the understanding even to understand those. Okay, but it's laid out in more detail also in the book of Revelations and in various books within the New Testament as well. So really the point is you need the whole book in order to have understanding of what's going to go down in the last days. Oh man, it's a lot. I gotta keep a hold on this. So reading on it says numbering the Jews precisely as is forbidden in the Torah was what the Nazis did to the Jews, so-called Jews. They needed to keep track of the so-called Jews. If these chips had been around, the Nazis surely would have used them. That's right, because they actually used the forerunner of the RFID technology, which was the tabulator machine, which is where you get the idiom or the phrase keeping tabs on someone, because that goes back to the tabulator machine, which was a machine that printed out a sheet or a card with a specific code that when you load it onto the tabulator machine, it'll come up with someone's biometrics. Okay, so that was the earlier model of the RFID technology, and they're definitely right about that. But guess what? In this day and age, the those were just how could you say uh that was just an earlier thing. That was a foundation that was built for the RFID technology to come forward. Okay, so you know you can read the rest of this article. It goes to the scripture. Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell there in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth. Why they have they're rejoicing for the Most High power, Yahweh Shai, and because the end is drawing nigh. Okay, so that means that Yahweh Shai is going to be sent forth onto the earth. But it reads, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that ye have but a short time." That's talking about the time of Jacob's trouble, where the RFID technology is ultimately going to be offered as a way to opt out of the hardships of Jacob's trouble, which basically you're opting out the hardships of Jacob's trouble, but you're opting in to having your part with the lake of fire. Okay, because if you basically take RFID technology, you're basically gonna have your part in a lake of fire. Okay. Um, and it's Revelations 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Alright? So that's why you don't want to be taking no RFID technology, because the Lord ain't dealing with that. Alright? That's what the RFID technology is, the implant. It's the mark of the beast. With that, pray you're edified. Shalom.